Hi, everybody. Well, I'm here to warn you about some trends that are going on in some cruise ports and in some airports. And people are being scammed and they sometimes don't even realize it. So, first off, let's talk about the scam that is happening right now. They're targeting cruise ship passengers, they're targeting people at the airport, and what they're doing is they're pretending to be a taxi service or a ride sharing service like Uber or Lyft. All they're doing is they're printing out a sign that says Uber, and they're sticking it in their window, and then they're driving by places where they know people are looking for rides and waiting for rides, like at the airport where you're not allowed to pick up passengers. For instance, if you're at a ride share, for instance here in Los Angeles, you have to go to Lyft it. But if you're outside waiting for that shuttle, all of a sudden a car pulls up and says, "Hey, are you looking for an Uber?" Because they see you're waiting at the shuttle to go to the area where you can pick up your ride. And they're saying, "Oh, well, I can take you," and they're talking people into jumping into their vehicles for the rides to the cruise port, to hotels, and people end up paying way more than they should be. Way more than they should be. One person just reported out that a ride from from the airport to the hotel should have cost around $40, and it ended up costing them around $150. It just goes to show that they're marking it up. And once you're in their vehicle, they can kind of charge what they want, or they can leave you out in the middle of nowhere. That is a best case scenario. The best case scenario is you get to where you wanted to go, but you spent more money. The worst case scenario is you don't know who you're jumping into the vehicle with. It could be a psychopath. It could be somebody who's looking to rob you of everything you have. You just stepped into a stranger's vehicle. You didn't call them on the app. You didn't make arrangements. You didn't go to the authorized taxi service venue. You relied on somebody talking to you out their car window, and you trusted them enough to get in the vehicle. There are some very scary stories of some younger female passengers who have jumped into these vehicles unknowingly, and some very bad things have happened to them. You can only imagine what I'm talking about. The YouTube algorithm won't let me say the words, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I want to warn everybody out there, never, ever, ever take a ride from somebody who rolls down the window and says, "Hey, I'm with Uber. Look, I have an Uber sign." It's printed out on a piece of paper. No. Use the app. Use the authorized taxi service area. Like I said, the best case scenario is you're going to lose some money if you take somebody word for it. The worst case scenario is you could have something horrible happen to you. Absolutely horrible happen to you. And it's happening more and more. And the cruise lines are starting to become aware of this. But while they can talk to, authorities and people who allow access into the cruise ports and the airports, etc., the cruise lines really don't have control over any of it. The cruise lines only control like the shuttle services and things like that they're allowing into. It's all basically the cruise ports and the cruise terminals that, the port authorities and the security, they're the ones who allow people in and out, etc. But somebody can drive up and say, "Yeah, I'm just picking up my friend at the cruise, off the ship." Security has no reason to not believe them, and then after they get by security, they stick an Uber sign in their window and they're driving by looking for people. So yeah, please don't do this. I had this experience happen to me while I was here, as a matter of fact, in Long Beach. When we were getting off a cruise ship and we're walking to the pickup area, a guy yelled out at us to for a ride. And my niece said, "Oh yeah, oh that's great. Come around and pick us up." And I gave her a ton of crap because we don't know who this person is. We have no idea who this person is, but she is not as an experienced as a traveler as I am, and she thought to herself, "Oh, we don't have to walk all that distance. There's a guy right here. Let's go with him." And then after I explained it to her, now she's more aware of the situation and is a lot more cautious when we go out there. I took a picture of this guy's license plate. I took a picture of him. I took a picture. I asked him exactly the price in advance to get there, etc. I at least got some kind of security if something was to happen. You know, the pictures are up on the cloud. He could even take my phone. I still have his photo. I still have his license plate. I still have a picture of his vehicle. So I took my precautions at that point, but I was not happy when that happened. And as you can imagine, it's safer in groups. We were 3 people, so that's a little safer. But I'm telling you, if you're getting off a cruise ship and somebody just rolls down the window, are you looking for an Uber? Don't take it. Go to the area you're supposed to, use the app, and wait for your Uber. Even if it's going to take you another 20 minutes, it's far less wasting 20 minutes than having something really, really bad happen.